Hello, and we're off on another adventure. We are in the port of Wells, which is Wells next to the sea. Saying we, I have got Mrs. C with me. She is here, following up the rear. Something like that anyway. And bringing up the rear. Yeah, you can see the tides in. This is a really well photographed place for sunrises and stuff like that, when you get these beautiful lines going through the estuary. What we're here for is some beach huts. We're taking the long walk. Oh, we've stopped for a reason.
No, just looking at that there.
Oh, that's probably a ridge, just something to stand on. You can just see some railings down here. If you just stop to have a look at that, it seems a bit weird, but there, some railings must be stood there for low tide, getting on and off the boats. Not really, no. Not quite a long exposure, no. But there's a marker point there, you know, like for the starboard entrance. So, port is red, starboard is green. That's when you're coming in, so that'll be the entrance. That's obviously the deepest part of the water in the channel, which is what that little stepway's for. Anyway, back to the nauticals. Yeah, no, it's a really nice place, really photographic place, but we are here for the beach huts. There's apparently like 200 beach huts along the beach. So we're heading along this long ridgeway. Now you can park down here, but we are in the van, and we've managed to get a spot up on the road, which is dead good. Saves a bit of parking money, which means we can spend it on things like bacon, which is always good.
Well, that's why we're walking.
Yeah, working off the bacon this morning. We had a whole packet of bacon this morning, which was dead nice for breakfast. So yeah, I'll speak to you when we get down to the beach huts. We'll set up a couple of images. We haven't got the sky to go with it. We've got a grey sky, so it's not really beach hut sky, but you never know. The contrast between the nice colours and the greys might work quite well. So until we get there, we won't know. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, so hopefully we're trying to beat a few of the tourists, but there's not much chance of that. They're already up and about. So we'll speak to you in a little while when we find these beach huts. So we're getting a lot closer towards the end now, and that's a long walk. I'm not sure you can see it behind us, but it's a long walk along here. I reckon it's a mile long, but it's got the old heart pumping. It's got us warmed up a little bit because there's quite a breeze. Hopefully the mic's picking it up okay, because it is quite windy, blowing in our faces. And yeah, so we're not far off from hopefully where these beach huts start to kick off. Now, there's a couple of campsites down here, and they're building a big complex by the looks of it. But yeah, we're still intrigued to find these beach huts, because that's what the walk's all about. So we're down onto the beach now. We've made it down onto the sand, and the tide's really high, which we knew. So the tide's going out, which is going to leave some quite clean sand before, like I say, before the tourists turn up. It makes it hard to walk on the sand. I should have worn my flip-flops really, but I've got my boots on just because we're in the van. It just saves a lot of mess wearing one pair of shoes. So let's get a couple of shots of these. Look at these behind you. I'm going to flip you around. These are pretty stunning looking beach huts, and I bet they're worth an absolute fortune. So look at these. Look how cool these things are. And my first shot is at the end, I think. I think my first shot is here, looking at the tall one up on the stilts, looking right down the coast before we get too many people. And we've also got the tide in here, so I'm going to start my first shot here, and then I'm going to carry my tripod down and just look for some pretty colour ones. Like there's a nice bright yellow one down there, and then we'll go right down to the end and get the dunes on the last few. And I think that's going to be limited to us today, because we haven't got a sunset or a sunrise, but we've definitely got a nice grey sky to be working with, so we'll see what we get up with. But let's get a few shots here before the people come out, because it's going to get really busy, and we don't want a million tourists in it if we can help it. The odd one or two we can clone out. So yeah, let's get our first couple of shots, see what it looks like through the camera, and work our way down, see if we can find something a bit more interesting. I have already taken one shot. I've taken just a simple shot at about 20 odd mil, just looking down to try and get the end of the start of the beach huts. I've now got another image set up, and I've gone wide angle, and I've gone up really close to this beach hut. In fact, I'm only about 5 foot away from the bottom of the steps, but I've tried to concentrate on the actual stairway being straight, and it looks pretty good because you've got this really elongated ladders that leads up to it, and it sort of pokes up into the sky. So I reckon if I pop out these colours a little bit and exaggerate the mood in the sky, it might actually work at quite an interesting shot. I'm going to go round slightly as well, slightly round in front of them, to see if I can stretch it out a little bit the other way, but that don't make quite a bad shot. That's f11 ISO 160, and like I say, I'm dead close to it at the moment. I thought I'd try something a little bit different. I'm just going to focus on the boathouse, but I want to try and straighten up the lines. And so to straighten up the lines, I need to get a little bit higher. The tripod's only as high as it is, so I'm going to hit the shutter button and I'll lift my tripod up, and I can see on the live view on the back of the camera to get my camera set. I'm just going to hold it steady, and hopefully it should be sharp enough and make it work. And that looks pretty good. That's one of my Compton techniques. Right, let's move on. Let's get another one. Got another one set up, camera's up as high as I can possibly get it again, and I'm in a vertical orientation. Because we found this little yellow one that's got some nice really yellow and white stripes. It's got a nice little painted beach hut plaque on the top with our beach hut days, and it looks really good. So I'm just shooting straight up the steps, grey sky behind it, yellow. I might even go a little bit wider just to have the benefit of getting a bit more sky in, and try that as well. So I'll try a couple slightly closer and slightly wider. Get rid of some of the footsteps at the bottom, and I'm also going to try me classic holding the tripod up in the air again as well, so I'm looking straight on at it, see if that makes any difference. But yeah, I just like the idea of making that moody sky and sort of maybe these yellows brighten up the boat at the beach hut a little bit, see if I can make that work. But yeah, straight on, because it's really pretty. There's so many to choose from, but this one just stood out for us, and we've only just started. I think we're up to number 10 or 11. We've got hundreds to go. Oh, we're on number 14 this is. I think there's like 200 beach huts down here. So I'm set up for my next one, and it stood out to me because it's got a Union flag. Hi, morning.
Sorry,
That's not. No, you carry on. Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah, so this one stood out to me because it's got a Union flag painted on the front of it, so it looked pretty cool. So I thought I'd take a picture of this, and I've got it centralised right in the middle of the frame at the moment, and I kind of keep that sky dark and moody, trying to keep it really sort of eerie looking. And I know it's not the perfect colours, and you know, everyone's bound to say to me, come back when you've got a sunrise, it'd be much better. But it probably would, but we can't. So yeah, I've taken a front on one and I've taken a side on one of this just because it stood out. It's got this Union flag painted all over it. We are heading down towards the end. We're about halfway down at the moment. I think we're at number 68 this is. So yeah, they're really, really good. Can't keep saying they're really good because they are really good. Denise is taking pictures as well, and I will pop some of Denise's up as I go along. But yeah, I like this one. Just stands out from the crowd.
Look at the state of my hair. Oh my god.
It's fan hair, babe. Don't worry about it. You're gorgeous. She hasn't had her straighteners for a few days, so we've got van hair coming on, which is all good.
Straighteners, I haven't had anything. Look at that about it. Looks like I've been pulled through a hedge.
Bless. Go on in, what are you explaining? No. What were you saying to me?
No, what I was asking you was, on here, see on the
ladders,
exposure,
yeah,
sort of scale here.
Exposure scale on the side, yeah.
That now says it's perfectly exposed in the middle, but that
it's clipping over to the right. Yeah, well, the histogram's more correct than what it thinks it is. Yeah.
Right. So if I was to just take it down a bit to there, so that says it's slightly underexposed.
Yeah, because that's the sky burning it out at the top. You see.
Yeah, but that'll be enough on that other side, won't it? That's not going too far.
Yeah, don't worry about it going into the
anything.
darks. No.
Right. As much as I hate the sound of all these 2-second timers.
2-second timer.
I'm going for that.
Denise has actually got quite a good shot here, so I'm actually going to rob her shot because I quite like it. But I might go slightly higher than what she is. She's looking up at them,
yeah, well,
which is exaggerating the steps. It looks pretty cool, but what's nice about these is I've just taken one. You've got a blue one and a red and white, so you've got red, white and blue all together. But the steps are both on the outside.
Yeah, I've just turned it around a little bit because the edge of the steps on that
was just
one
breaking out the edge of the frame,
so
yeah. Which is what I was on about my past video about iron out your compositions, just to make sure watch around the edge of your frame. Anything that's just clipping the frame.
Well, that's not now.
No, that's in. Anything that's just clipping the frame, just edge your frame slightly to make sure it fits in.
But that has taken the exposure.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Down. Looks good. I think I might have one of these. So we're going to try something a bit different. I'm just about to take my wide angle lens off and put my zoom lens on, if I can get the lens cap off. Now I'm really trying hard not to get the sand on everything, which is really hard because it's really lightweight sand, so quite difficult. So the camera is on the tripod now. Let's just put this lot away before I kick sand in it. Take the polarizer off, otherwise I'll lose it, I won't be able to find it. Put a lens cap back on, it's going in my pocket. And Denise is going to try and do a panoramic as well. But I just thought we've come to the end now and we're sitting in front of number 100 and something, 191 I can see. So yeah, I'm going to try and get a long panoramic to make quite a nice stitch of all of these, because we've got the trees behind it as well, so it might make a really nice, interesting shot. See how it comes out, that's all I can try. I don't have no idea how the stretch will be, but we'll see if it works. I don't know whether this worked. I've just shot off of the fastest panoramic I've ever done. Put the camera on, got it level, got my spirit level right, everything was dead level, got the camera on, flicked it on to, well actually I've let it on aperture priority, so that's a big mistake, so I don't know whether this is going to work. Got right round, there were some people coming along the beach and I just panned all the way around as far as I could, because the people have actually gone into one of the beach huts right in the middle of the frame, so that's the only clean shot I'm going to get. I will try and take another couple from the sideways on and do the sideways on this way, but I can't go all the full stretch. So I've got one opportunity. I don't know if it works. You do now. I won't until I get home, and that's a long time till we get home because we're on holiday. So yeah, hopefully I manage to get that panoramic off. But yeah, I'm going to try another couple just to do a sort of stretch sideways on ones and see how they work. And then I think we're going to head back to a cafeteria to go and get some coffee and cake. Always coffee and cake, isn't it, babe? She's nodding. Before we disappear, because we are going to head off now, we've packed the cameras away and we're going to find ourselves a footpath and just lead us back to the car park. But I thought I'd give you another hint and tip of the day. This is my hint of tip for being on the beach. Put your camera bag, even though it's waterproof, in a waterproof cover. I've got the waterproof cover on there now. Most of the stuff, apart from these straps which I can shake off, most of the bag now is sitting on this cloth underneath, so I've got no sand build up on the back and I can just tap it off and shake it off. So that's a hint and a tip of the day. If you're going on sandy beaches, put your bag in a waterproof cover. They're only a couple of quid, and I'll leave you a link down below for one on Amazon, the one I've got on this one. And this one's good because it actually straps on and it doesn't blow off in the wind. Always handy, have a Compton tip, isn't it, babe? Yep. See you at the car park. So that's us done. We're making our way back now. Going to try and find a cafe, get ourselves a nice latte. We've done the beach huts. I know the weather wasn't brilliant for it, but we've managed to see them, we've managed to do them. So if we're ever down in this part of the country again, we can always come and try and do a sunrise or sunset. Maybe out of season when there's not so many people around would always be quite a good idea. Or just after there's been a really massively high tide, so that the wash has come right up to the edge of the beach huts. That'd be pretty cool because there'd be no people around at all then, would there? So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out next week or next time because we're going to be somewhere different. We're making our way around this coast, so yeah, you never know where we're going to turn up. So till next time, don't forget, I've already said like and subscribe, haven't I? Yeah. Repeating myself. Ciao for now. See you soon. Bye bye.